So please allow me to stand here with every single winner from the entire world who's part of this weekend. So please allow that. In the interview, I talked about possibility. I also talked about my sincere belief that as entrepreneurs, all of us have an incredible similarity to artists. Artists at their core are not artists because they sort of want to be artists. They are artists because they must be artists, and they must make art in order to be alive. I believe that entrepreneurs, those who deeply are entrepreneurs, are not so because it's something that they decide they want to do. It's because it's what they must do. It's because it's who they are. It's who they are in this world. Entrepreneurs believe in creating, not accepting. Entrepreneurs believe in possibility over simply reality. And entrepreneurs tend to carry humanity forward in little itty-bitty steps, and once in a while in big leaps. I also believe deeply in not taking yourself too seriously. So I want to try to add a bit of levity, although I don't have a joke to pull out of my pocket right now. But I'll offer something that might be a little lighter than serious, which is about 3.5 years ago, I decided to get over one of my challenges, my personal challenges, and that is writer's block. I often sit down to write and find myself wanting to write everything, but then ultimately not writing that much. And so I made a commitment to what was then 40 employees of Uptake. And what I said is, I believe great culture will be built by all of us, but as the founder and CEO, I believe I have a big role in that. And so I'm going to commit to write a letter to the entire company every Sunday night. When I said that, I was scared because I knew that that represented a self-imposed challenge that would be difficult to execute. And what's happened is that for the last, not just 1 year, but for the last 3.5 years, every Sunday night, I've written a letter to the entire team at Uptake. And so I share that story as an offering to something that I picked up from someone else. And they gave to me, and I'll now pass it on, because I'll tell you that it's meant a lot to our company to allow for weekly communication, sometimes stories about my kids, and sometimes much more profound, maybe less profound thoughts about business. Which brings me to the last thing I want to share, which is my gratitude for the people that have been part of my journey. My father passed away in the last year. And to tell you about the pride that he would have had at this moment, it would mean a lot. I've chosen gratitude over sorrow, so I'll choose again gratitude over sorrow in regards to my memories of my dad. But my mom and my wife and my lovely wife and my lovely daughters and every single person, most importantly, my lifelong business partner, Eric Levkovsky. Eric and I met when we were 11 years old. and we became business partners as we went through law school, sharing an absolute certainty that neither of us had any chance that we would ever become a lawyer. And Eric and I have been building companies together for 27 years. A remarkable brother and friend, and a remarkable partnership that I pay deep, deep respect and tribute to my business partner, Eric. And so with that, I guess I'd also just lastly thank the mentors that have shaped me along the way. A man named Sam Zell, who is this iconic entrepreneur, not only in America, but with a global, incredibly amazing reputation, somehow saw in me when I was 17 years old. He saw in me who I wanted to be, not just who I was. And what I've experienced over 32 years with Sam has been one of the most beautiful stories of true mentorship out of love, out of paying it forward and sharing wisdom. So I've been this lucky recipient of not just Sam's mentorship, but many others. And so my commitment in receiving this award on behalf of every winner who's here tonight, my commitment is to pay this forward as well, and to do anything and everything I can to make the World Entrepreneur of the Year program better off for having been part of it. I think that's really what it's all about. And as Manny said, what's remarkable, I think, about the sensibility of entrepreneurship today, it's not about receiving, it's about creating. And it's not about taking, it's about giving. So lastly, I'll just share that about a month ago, I found myself once again coming to this incredible quote at a time that I was giving advice to a friend. And I wish I could recite the entire quote as we sit here. But I found myself once again coming to it, and this quote was given to me when I was at one of my personal lows, because I assure you that whatever entrepreneurial story I tell is not one of overnight success. It's of repeated failure and repeated continued learning and perseverance. But the quote that was given to me by a lovely man in Chicago was the Theodore Roosevelt quote about the man in the arena, and about the fact that the way to judge someone is not by the outcome. It's really about the choices they make and whether they put themselves in the arena, whether they continue through adversity, and whether they persevere through the challenge and the sweat and the blood, although we don't deal in a world a lot of blood in our profession. But those who choose to stay in the arena when it gets tough. And my learning over the last 3-4 days is that the brothers and sisters that I join here as country winners have all made a choice that might not be viewed as heroic by their friends or by their acquaintances, but I view the choice that every one of you has made to truly be an entrepreneur. I view that choice as heroic, because I view the act of creation and the act of persistence and the act of effort and hard work the highest level order that humanity can aspire to. So with that, I thank everyone, and I sincerely appreciate this.
All right, everyone, stay here and enjoy, celebrate with each other. Have a great evening.